And our first story tonight will no doubt inspire you. Jason Becker has been doing just that since he was a little kid. And even though Jason can't speak and he can't move, anyone who knows him says his career has just begun. Ten years ago, Jason Becker was hailed as one of the best rock guitarists in the world. But today, his music is locked inside his mind, trapped in a body that once entertained the world.
Jason wrote so much stuff over the years that even if he never wrote it again for years, he has enough for a few more CDs. But it's pretty cool to still have his music out there kicking.
When he was 5, Jason's father, Gary, gave him his first guitar, and he never put it down. At 13, he could play note for note with the best.
I gave him the opportunity, but he had that himself inside. You can't get that. You can't buy it. You either have it and want it and stuff. So he had examples, but the fire was within.
By his late teens, he had already released several albums, and at 20, he landed the biggest gig of all, lead guitarist for the popular David Lee Roth Band. But just a week later, it all came crashing down.
That was hell because of what I thought he was going to lose. And it seemed just very unfair and cruel. It just ripped our hearts out.
Jason was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease, a paralyzing neurological disorder.
But I'm sure any parent might be able to look at their child and try to visualize it. But I think that's the worst thing that can happen to a parent, is something happening to their child.
Even though his fingers were slowing down, he finished an album that later went gold. Doctors gave him only 3 years to live. A decade later, Jason is still going strong.
I've read his fan mail over the years, and he's an inspiration to a lot of people, including a lot of people that have said, gee, I felt like committing suicide, but when I read about you, I'm going back and living my life.
Jason requires around-the-clock care from his loving family and friends. He communicates with his eyes.
It's basically a grid system that just puts the letters of the alphabet in a certain place in space that we have memorized. So each letter has 2 eye movements that Jason gives me, and I call off the letters and then the words when I understand what I think he's saying.
Learning the system was easy. Jason says accepting it was the hard part.
To S, T, O, stop. Stop. You, using voice. Yeah, it was very easy for him once he stopped fighting it because he didn't want to stop using his voice.
With the help of the computer and those passionate eyes, Jason is composing once again. He's already composed a music video, and Raspberry Jams, a CD full of his old music, was just released. His music struck a chord with the acclaimed Diablo Ballet, and tonight they're performing one of his songs. Lauren Jonas, the company's artistic director, is a big fan.
He is an extraordinary human being, and he's always inspired me, even when I knew him before he really got sick. Just his music music was just, it's just phenomenal. And what he's done with his life and how he proceeds and his positive demeanor and the beauty and the artistry that is inside of him and that we all get to share is just extraordinary.
Jason's mind is still filled with music, and it's up to those passionate eyes to share it with the world. Jason's new CD, Raspberry Jams, is in music stores all around the country. It's totally inspiring music, and you'll hear so many different styles of music. Not to mention a ton of Jason's